Okay, so having finished a run in the Helmed IFA processor, we can now start the Helps Plus application for the IFA data management software. Most likely there will be, first of all, a user signing in. You can enter with a name and the password. The next step will be to load your work list that we have just run on the Helmed. And the information that we can see, first of all, is its name of the work list. We could load more than one work list at a time if needed. And then the information we had in the Helmed is the same that we can see now. How many slides there were, 10. Also you have the color of the slide, the same configuration is brought across, exactly the number of wells. You can also see here that there was some combination of AnaHep2 test. All this information is also explained here. And we also had some criteria and some RattleKS 5 wells. So we can start now recording the results on slide number 1. So we start by selecting the slide and we place our slide number 1 in the microscope. Now we need to activate our camera as well by pressing the live view. So the camera is on. We can turn the microscope on and we are on the first well. So we can apply an image if we're happy, or we can just move to a different location. So we apply the image. And the next step would be we can go back to the archive if we don't want to bleach the image for too long. Then we can start looking at the pattern list. So this is our first well, that was our positive control. So it should be positive. We have used a homogeneous pattern. So we can press the H on our keyboard and that will jump straight away to the homogeneous pattern. If we would like to classify this as a positive, then we just click the plus, or we can press enter as well. Pressing enter will come up with the next follow-up steps window where we have a comments section where we can add here. We can add an additional pattern if we think there's a second pattern in this one. The mitosis, we can click positive or negative, and then we can select different follow-up steps. In this case, it makes no sense, the positive control, so we just press OK. The well classification has been saved. Please move to the next well. So we press OK to confirm. And then we are in well number 2. So we can start our microscope again. Camera's on. And we move to well position number 2. Well position number 2 is a negative control. So we can apply the image. And we can select negative and either click or press enter. OK to confirm, and has been saved, so we move to the next well, well number 3. Well number 1, which was selected as positive, is shown with a red background and a red tick. A negative well is shown with a white background and a green tick. So we are now ready to classify well number 3. We can turn the microscope on again and we move to well position number 3. So we look for the area where so now we are ready to apply the image. And let's say that the user thinks that this is a nuclear load pattern, so it's pressing the N to switch throughout the menu of the different patterns. So now, probably thinking we could look at the archive to compare side by side, and might be thinking this is perhaps a nuclear clumpy. If he wants to read more details about this specific pattern, you can click the I button. And this knowledge database, which is available for most of the AnaHep2 patterns, shows further descriptions about the syndrome, feature prognosis, the Hep2 pattern, so you have a more detailed picture of what to look for with some descriptions to help you categorize and classify your results. So we accept this as a nuclear clumpy, and we click OK. And we want to do a follow-up. In IFA, titration, so we select OK. And now let's log out and log in as a super user. So now the laboratory super user is ready to review the results recorded by the user. So when loading the same work list that the user has already completed, you could check the results just by looking at the pictures here. So you can have a look at slide number 1. Now well number 1 is selected and its thumbnail image is also shown on the top of the screen. If we want to navigate throughout the slide, we can use just the right button as shown in this section here. So pressing right will select to the next well, left will go to the previous well, and up and down will change between the classification if we have to. Now we can press escape to go back to the main screen. So for this slide number 1 and well number 1, we classified this as positive and a homogeneous, and let's say that the super user agrees to these results. So move to the next well. Well number 2 is the negative control, which also this information is here, and I have 2 negative control. You have the information about the dilution ratio used and the test name. So super user is also happy and agrees with the same results that the user gave about this second position, and now he's ready to move to well number 3. When he arrives to well number 3, he could even double click, have a look at the image. He's not sure that he agrees with this. Perhaps this was not a nuclear clumpy pattern, and he's ready to now make a change. Again, this change can only be made by the super user of these original results. So if the user signed in again, he could not make any further changes, or a different user could also not make changes. It has to be somebody with a higher access level. So the super user is reviewing these results and thinks that instead of a nuclear clumpy, this could be perhaps a nuclear staining. So he's ready to make a change, and he just press enter, and we will override existing classification will prompt just to make sure that we're not that we are happy to change this result. So we select yes, and we have finished reviewing these 3 results, which for this demo purpose is enough. And we press OK. Now on the report, worklist report area, we can see there are 3 options. One is to view the report by the worklist. So if we press this button, a PDF file becomes available with a report for the entire worklist. So this will show us the results for the 10 slides that we had on this worklist. Each slide will be shown in one different page. The logo that we have set up is also on the top, as well as the data from institute, city, telephone, point of contact, etc. We have the name of the slide, and we have also its number, so number 1 out of our work list. This information is carried out from the Helmed, so who ran the instrument, when it was processed, and we have also information about the expiry date, the slide lot, conjugate, etc. Then for slide number 1, we have that wells, only the first 3 wells were classified. The first one, we also have the ID from the Helmed, the positive control, the titer, the result. The positive is shown with a plus and a red. The pattern is shown homogeneous that we selected, and the remark was positive control OK. You also have the information about who recorded these details. And well number 2, we had the negative control recorded by the user. And then well number 3, first of all, the user logged in and selected nucleolar clumpy staining and selected follow-up IFA titration. However, the super user logged in afterwards and changed his results to nucleolar staining. So this is what we mean by having full traceability. If somebody changes their results, the old results should still be available. We could scroll down to the other slides, number 2. However, we had not classified yet any of these results, so we can close this worklist report. We could also select a slide report, which means would be identical to our previous report. However, it would be showing only the slide that we would like to select. Or in this case, where we want to have a more detailed report, we can select, for example, on well number 3, our report, and it's shown only for well number 3 from our slide number 1. Now in this case, we had attached, the information is the same again, about the substrate and the slide number, Helmed. However, this time we have a full report with our real picture from the microscope that we have taken, as well as the results that for this well number 3, first of all the user signed in and recorded, and then the super user logged in as well but changed these given results. So this is how you open a work list, how you edit it, and how you save pictures, and then view your reports and have all your information saved electronically.